Hey, Alicia, ready for another deep dive for vibrations and manifestations? This time we're going deep into the vortex.
Absolutely, Jared. I think this one is going to be really interesting.
It seems like something a lot of our listeners are curious about. It's a topic that can be, well, a bit confusing to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it can definitely feel a little elusive, but honestly, once you start to understand it, it can really change how you see manifestation and honestly, just life.
Okay, so let's just get right to it then. What exactly is the vortex?
The best way to think of it is like a vibrational reality, a state of pure positive energy, and it's where all our desires already exist, but in a manifested form. Think about dropping a pebble in a pond. See how those ripples just expand outwards. That's kind of like how our thoughts and emotions work, too. The universe is all about vibrations at its core, and our thoughts and feelings create these energy ripples that interact with, well, everything. The vortex is where those vibes line up with our desires, where everything we want is already complete, just waiting for us to, tune in.
So it's not a physical place, right? More like a state of being, a vibrational reality where our dreams are already manifested.
Exactly. Imagine it like a radio station, but for abundance. You need to tune your thoughts and feelings to the right frequency to receive it. That's what being in the vortex is all about.
Okay, I love that analogy.
It's more like a vibrational frequency that we can tap into.
And you're saying that all our desires are already there, just kind of hanging out, waiting for us.
That's the idea. I know it's a big concept to grasp, but yeah, the vortex is where our vibrational escrow resides, like a blueprint.
Vibrational escrow, I love that.
Yeah.
But why is getting into this vortex so important? What's the big draw?
Well, when you're in the vortex, that's when the real magic happens. Manifestation becomes so much easier. It's like hitting the jackpot because your desires flow into your reality smoothly. Think about a time when everything in your life felt effortless, when everything just seemed to flow. You were joyful and inspired, and things just fell into place. Opportunities appeared, and you were so in tune with your purpose. That feeling, that's a glimpse of what it's like to be in the vortex.
So it's more than just manifesting stuff. It's about feeling good, being aligned with our purpose, and experiencing ease and flow in life.
Exactly. It's tapping into well-being and letting the universe help us manifest our desires. And from this state, the law of attraction is working strongest, effortlessly bringing us those things we've been asking for.
Feeling good, being aligned, manifesting desires sounds pretty amazing. So it's less about getting what we want, but more about aligning with what the energy of our desires.
Precisely. And there's so many other perks when you're in the vortex. You feel more clear, more inspired, you have more energy, and things just seem to fall into place at the perfect time. It's where you feel, I don't know, just really good, expansive, joyful.
Okay, I'm sold. But how do we know if we're actually in the vortex? Does a cosmic doorbell ring or something?
Haha, I wish. No, it's much simpler than that. Your emotions are your guide. They're like a roadmap.
You always talk about emotions being our guide, right?
Yeah.
Like a compass or something.
Exactly. When you're feeling positive emotions, joy, gratitude, excitement, that means you're on the right track, heading towards the vortex. You're in alignment.
I get that. So if positive emotions are like a green light, what about negative emotions? Are they like a stop sign?
More like a detour sign. They're a signal that you've kind of veered off course and are creating resistance, that your thoughts and beliefs aren't quite matching up with the high-frequency energy of the vortex.
So those negative feelings are basically a heads up to course correct.
They're like a built-in compass that always points towards or away from the vortex. When you're feeling joy, love, gratitude, excitement, those positive emotions, that's a clear sign you're in the vortex.
So if I'm stressed, anxious, or frustrated, that means I've wandered out of the vortex.
Exactly. Those negative emotions show that you're out of alignment with your desires, that you're resisting the flow of abundance that's always available.
Okay, so our emotions are the key. But how do we get there? Do we need to go on a retreat or something?
No, no retreats required. It's not about physically going anywhere. It's all about shifting our internal state, getting rid of resistance, and raising our vibration.
So it's an inside job, basically. But how do we actually shift gears? How do we steer ourselves back to the vortex?
There are a lot of different techniques.
Mm-hmm.
One that's always recommended is meditation. Taking even just a few minutes to quiet your mind. It helps you detach from those negative thoughts.
Meditation is definitely powerful. I know that firsthand. What else can help?
Cultivating appreciation is huge. Focusing on what you're grateful for, especially appreciating yourself. It's all about raising that vibration. And then there's the simple pleasures. Never underestimate those.
Like what kinds of simple pleasures?
Anything that sparks joy. Music, dancing, being in nature, spending time with loved ones, anything like that.
So it's about being mindful of what we're thinking and feeling, and then choosing things that feel good.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think now would be the perfect time to try a little guided meditation. It's a great way to actually get a feel for the vortex energy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So if you're listening, get comfy, close your eyes, and take a few nice deep breaths. Now imagine this swirling vortex of energy, just pure positive energy. This is it, your vortex of creation, the place where all your desires are already manifested. Feel yourself being drawn in. It's warm and loving. Let go of any tension you're holding and sink into this feeling of, I don't know, just ease, like you're right where you're supposed to be. Breathe in that pure source energy. And as you breathe out, release any resistance. Breathe in love and joy. Breathe out worry and doubt. Notice how expansive it feels, like anything is possible. You're vibrating at this higher frequency, aligned with all your desires. Just stay here for a few more breaths and soak it all in. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
Wow. I feel so much lighter.
Me too. It's amazing, right? That's the vortex, and it's always there for us.
I think our listeners are going to love this, and we've covered so much already, but there's still more to explore.
Definitely.
Like, we talked about what the vortex is and why it's, well, pretty awesome to be in it. We even got a little taste with that meditation. But how do we actually stay in that good vibe zone? Life happens.
Right. Life definitely throws curveballs. And those negative thoughts, they can sneak up on you. It's so easy to get pulled out of alignment.
So how do we become more aware of it? What are the signs that, oh, okay, maybe I'm slipping out of the vortex here?
Your emotions. Always go back to your emotions. They're the best indicators. When you start to feel, worry, doubt, frustration, anger, that kind of stuff, that's your signal.
Like a little warning bell going off.
Exactly. It's like your internal GPS saying, uh-oh, you're veering off course, recalculating.
Okay, so you notice those feelings. Then what? How do we shift back into alignment?
It's about becoming a vibrational manager.
A vibrational manager. Okay, I like that.
Right. It means taking control of your energy. You have to catch those negative thoughts early on before they, spiral out of control.
It's like our minds are wild horses sometimes. How do we tame them?
You need the right tools, the techniques we talked about, meditation, appreciation, focusing on those simple pleasures, even just being aware of your breath. These are your go-tos, your secret weapons.
Like a first aid kit for your vibes.
Exactly. You have to tend to your own energetic garden. Keep it healthy, weeding out the negative thoughts and then planting more of those good vibe seeds.
I like that. So we're basically gardeners of our own vortex. But we're human, right? We're going to slip up. Those weeds are going to sprout up sometimes.
Yeah.
What do we do when that happens?
First of all, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up about it. It happens.
And they're beating yourself up for having a bad day.
Exactly. Just acknowledge it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm feeling this way. And then use your tools to gently steer yourself back in the right direction. Like, hey, negative thought, I see you, but I'm choosing to focus on something that feels better.
So instead of resisting those negative emotions, we just acknowledge them and redirect. It's like, wrong way, turning this ship around.
Yes. You are the captain of your own vibrational ship. Remember that?
This is making so much sense now. Amplifying the positive and releasing the negative.
Exactly. And there are tons of ways to do this meditation, practicing appreciation, doing things that bring you joy, even working with crystals. But for our listener, let's focus on two techniques from their sources: the focus wheel and the rampage of appreciation.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the focus wheel all about?
It's a powerful tool for shifting your beliefs and energy to a more positive state. Let's say you have a desire. Maybe you want to attract a loving relationship, but you're feeling doubtful or resistant. Maybe past experiences make you think finding true love is difficult.
Oh, I think we've all been there. So how does this focus wheel help?
Imagine a bicycle wheel, okay? The desire you want to manifest, that's the hub in the center. Around that hub are 12 spokes. Each spoke is a statement supporting your desire, something you already believe to be true about yourself or the world.
So instead of forcing ourselves to believe something that feels untrue right now, we're focusing on smaller truths that still support our desire.
Exactly. So with the loving relationship example, one spoke could be, I am worthy of love. Another, I am capable of giving and receiving love. Another, there are plenty of amazing people looking for loving relationships.
I'm starting to see how this works. So we write these positive, already believed statements on the spokes, all supporting our desire. What then?
You read them out loud and feel the truth in each one. As you do this, your energy starts to shift. It's like bridging the emotional gap between where you are now and fully believing in your desire.
It's like we're training our minds to align with the vibe of our desires, starting with beliefs we already hold as true.
That's it. And you can use it for any desire, a loving relationship, a fulfilling career, a healthy body, anything. The key is to find those supporting beliefs that resonate with you and feel their truth as you read them aloud.
What a practical and powerful tool. I'm totally going to try this. So that's the focus wheel. Now, what about this rampage of appreciation? That sounds a bit more rambunctious.
It can be. It's all about deliberately shifting your vibration by focusing on what you appreciate in your life. It's like going on a treasure hunt for all those things that make you feel good, make you smile, fill you with joy and gratitude.
So it's about deliberately choosing to appreciate things rather than just waiting for it to happen randomly.
Yes. Think of it like this. When you appreciate something, you're focusing on its good qualities, right? You're sending out a vibration of love and gratitude, which attracts more things to appreciate.
So the more we appreciate, the more we have to appreciate.
Exactly. And the key is to really let yourself go wild. Don't hold back. List everything, big or small, that makes you feel good. Appreciate nature, the warmth of the sun, a child's laughter, how delicious your favorite food is, everything.
It's not just the big stuff, but also those little everyday moments that we usually don't even notice.
Exactly. The sources say the more you do this, the easier it is to stay high vibe and attract even more things to appreciate.
It's a positive feedback loop of appreciation and abundance.
You got it. And that's the power of these techniques. They help us consciously align with the vortex, that frequency of well-being and manifestation.
This is fascinating. Speaking of aligning with the vortex, the sources mention this vibrational escrow concept. What's that all about?
Ooh, good one. Imagine a place where every desire you have already exists, but in its complete form. That's vibrational escrow. Like, the universe has a savings account holding the energy blueprint for everything you've ever wanted.
So we're not creating desires from scratch, but aligning with the blueprint that already exists.
Exactly. And here's the interesting part. The sources say the key to accessing this vibrational escrow is becoming a vibrational match to what we've already created there. Remember, our thoughts and emotions are like frequencies, and they determine what we attract.
So if I'm constantly worried about money, feeling a sense of lack, I'm blocking the abundance that's already mine in the vibrational escrow.
You got it. You're emitting a lack frequency, and that can't align with the abundance frequency that's already yours. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
So it's not just asking, it's about aligning our energy with receiving too.
Exactly. And that's where the focus wheel and rampage of appreciation come in. They help us raise our vibration, reduce resistance, and become a match for that waiting abundance.
So we're tuning into the frequency of fulfillment that already exists in vibrational escrow, not creating from nothing.
Yeah.
I like that. But then what about action? Do we need to do anything, or can we just sit back and wait for our desires to magically appear?
Great question. The sources say action is important, but it needs to be inspired, aligned action. It's like this. When you're in the vortex, feeling good and aligned, inspired action arises naturally, effortlessly, almost like you're being guided.
So not forcing things, but trusting intuition and taking steps that feel aligned with our desires.
Exactly. When we take inspired action, we're amplifying the signal we send to the universe. It's like saying, yes, I'm serious about this, I'm ready.
Meeting the universe halfway, showing up in our physical reality with actions that reflect our internal alignment.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, with inspired action, we create momentum. Moving energy attracts more energy. The manifestation process speeds up, becomes effortless.
It's like jumping on a moving train instead of waiting for one at a standstill.
Yes. And the sources emphasize, in this high-speed energy environment, things are moving faster than ever. So for those in the vortex, aligned with their desires, this energy can speed things up.
So the more aligned we are, the faster our desires can show up.
That's what they're saying. But it's not just speed, it's ease, flow. When you're in the vortex, things fall into place. You get ideas, you attract the right people, and resources, opportunities pop up. It's like the universe is conspiring to help you.
That's incredible. But for those outside the vortex, those stuck in resistance and negativity, this energy could feel overwhelming, right?
Absolutely. It's like being in a riptide fighting just tires you out. That's why it's so important to be aware of our vibration and make conscious choices to align with the vortex, to ride the wave instead of being swept away.
So feeling good isn't just for us, it's about navigating this energy and using it to our advantage.
Exactly. We're all surfing this wave of energy, and the more we align with the vortex, the smoother and more enjoyable the ride. We've talked about the vortex as this reality of well being and fulfilled desires, but the sources also mention manifestational reality. What's the difference?
Yeah, that's an interesting distinction.
Manifestational reality is what we experience with our senses, the world of form, things, events. It's what we see, hear, touch, taste, smell. It's the physical manifestation of the vibrational reality.
So, like, vibrational reality is the blueprint, and manifestational reality is the building that gets built from it.
Exactly. The sources suggest that understanding the vortex encourages us to shift our focus away from manifestational reality and toward vibrational reality.
Why is that shift so important?
Because when we're too focused on the external world, on what's already manifested, it's easy to get caught in the illusion of lack. We see what's missing, what's not working, and that creates doubt, worry, frustration. It's like rearranging furniture in a cluttered room. You're moving things, but the energy's the same.
So we need to shift our internal state to match the reality we want, not just try to force change in the external world.
Exactly. And as we do that, the external world starts to reflect the shift. The manifestations follow. The vortex responds to our vibration when we align with the frequency of our desires. The universe delivers.
We're not just observing reality, we're participating in its creation. But sometimes, this all sounds a little too good to be true, you know? How do we know this vortex thing is real? How do we know it works?
That's fair. The sources say the best evidence is in our own experience. Think about it when you feel good. Don't things seem to flow? Positive experiences, helpful people, opportunities just appear.
Yeah, it's like being in the zone where everything clicks.
Exactly. And the opposite happens when you're feeling down obstacles, drama, even easy things feel hard.
I know that feeling. But how does that prove the vortex exists?
It shows the link between our vibration and our reality. When we're aligned with the vortex, with well-being, our reality reflects that. When we're out of alignment, it reflects that too. It's an experiment we're all doing every day, whether we realize it or not.
So it's not about blind faith, but observing the cause and effect of our energy and our experiences.
Exactly. And the more we experiment, the more evidence we gather, the stronger our belief becomes. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. Awareness, alignment, manifestation.
Okay, so the vortex is real, and we've talked about techniques for aligning with it. But what about those times when we're stuck, struggling to stay high vibe? What do the sources suggest for those tough times?
They say awareness is key. The more we tune in to our emotions and notice when we're off, the faster we can course correct back to the vortex, like an alarm that goes off when we drift away from our center.
So pay attention to the early signs, stress, anxiety, frustration, as signals we're getting off track.
Exactly. They say even a little feeling of discomfort can show we're starting to spin out. It's not about waiting for a crisis, but catching the subtle shifts and adjusting before things escalate.
Like seeing the first raindrops and grabbing an umbrella before the downpour. So any tips for catching those early signs and course correcting?
They suggest a few things. First, make self-reflection a daily practice. Take a few minutes to check in with your emotions, how you're feeling, any thoughts creating resistance. It's like taking your emotional temperature.
Daily check-ins to monitor our emotional state. What else?
Don't ignore negative emotions when they pop up, explore them. Ask yourself what thoughts are triggering these, what beliefs are fueling them. It's about getting curious about your inner world and understanding the roots of your emotional experience.
So not suppressing them, but understanding, processing, and transforming them into something more empowering.
Right. And third, create a toolbox of practices that help you shift your vibration quickly, like a first aid kit for emotional well-being.
What kind of things go in this emotional first aid kit?
Things like meditation, affirmations, journaling, spending time in nature, listening to music, doing things that bring you joy. The key is having a variety of tools so you can choose what resonates in the moment.
Daily check-ins, exploring negative emotions, building a toolbox of vibration-raising practices, a great foundation for staying aligned with the vortex. But what about self-care? Where does that fit in?
The sources are clear. Self-care is essential, not a luxury. When we prioritize our well-being, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, we create a strong foundation for navigating life's challenges and staying aligned with the vortex.
Like putting on our own oxygen mask first so we can help others. What kind of self-care helps us stay connected to well-being?
Self-care has many forms: getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, moving your body, spending time with loved ones, being creative, or just taking time to relax and recharge.
It's about making choices that nourish our mind, body, and soul that support our overall well-being.
Exactly. And when we prioritize self-care, we're sending a message to the universe. A message of self-love, self-worth, alignment with our highest good. And when we emit that frequency, we attract more of what we want, effortlessly and joyfully.
This is so empowering. Even amidst the chaos and intensity of the world, we have the power to create a reality that reflects our highest potential, a reality where we feel good, aligned, and supported by the universe.
As we've been talking about the vortex and aligning with well-being, a point that really hit home for me is that true success isn't just about external goals, but about aligning with who we truly are at our core. It's about becoming a vibrational match to the essence of our being.
So it's not about what we have or do, but who we are.
Exactly. And the sources say this inner alignment is the foundation for real, lasting fulfillment.
Why is that?
Well, think about it. When we chase goals that aren't aligned with our authentic selves, it's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. We might have temporary success, but it'll always feel like a struggle. No true joy, no satisfaction.
It's like wearing a mask that doesn't really reflect who we are. We might fool others, but we know deep down it's not real.
That's a great analogy. But when we align with our true selves, when we embrace our unique gifts, talents, and passions, everything flows. We attract opportunities that excite us, connect with people who resonate with us, and experience purpose and fulfillment from living in alignment with our truth.
So it's not just success, but aligned success that's in harmony with our soul's calling.
Precisely. And the sources suggest this alignment with our true selves is key to accessing the vortex. When we're authentic, we naturally vibrate higher, attracting more of what we want.
It's like our authentic self is a magnet for abundance, for joy, for fulfillment. But how do we connect with our authentic selves, especially when the world pressures us to conform, to fit in, to be someone we're not?
Great question. The sources offer practices to help us on this self-discovery journey. One of the most powerful is self-reflection. Explore your values, beliefs, passions, dreams. Ask yourself, what makes me happy? What makes me feel alive? What do I want to contribute to the world?
It's about getting to know ourselves deeply, uncovering the treasures within. What other practices support aligning with our authentic selves?
Intuition. Learn to listen to that inner voice, that gut feeling that guides you towards what's right. Trust your inner wisdom, that inner compass that always points you in the right direction.
Tuning into the whispers of our soul instead of the noise of the world.
Exactly. And the sources emphasize releasing limiting beliefs, those negative thoughts and stories that keep us stuck in self-doubt and fear.
So identifying those inner critics that sabotage our dreams and replacing them with empowering beliefs that support our growth. How do we release those limiting beliefs?
There are lots of ways. Techniques we've talked about, like the focus wheel and affirmations, can help shift those negative thought patterns. It's also about being aware of the stories we tell ourselves, questioning them, and choosing thoughts that empower us, not limit us.
It's like weeding our mental garden, pulling the weeds of negativity and planting seeds of positivity and self-belief.
Beautifully put. As we release those beliefs, we create space for our authentic selves to shine, to attract experiences and relationships that align with our highest potential.
Like clearing away debris that's blocking the flow of abundance and letting the river of our true nature run free.
As we've been talking about the vortex and aligning with our desires, one thing that keeps popping up is how easy it is to get trapped in the comparison game.
Ooh, the comparison trap. That's a sneaky one. How does that relate to the vortex?
The sources say comparing ourselves to others is one of the quickest ways to throw ourselves out of alignment.
Why is that?
Because when we compare, we're focusing on what we don't have, on what we're lacking, which creates a vibration of scarcity and dissatisfaction.
It's like dimming our own light by staring at someone else's brightness.
Exactly. And that energy can't possibly align with the abundance waiting for us in the vortex. It's like trying to tune a radio to two stations at once. You just get static.
So how do we avoid that trap? Especially in a world filled with social media and everyone's highlight reels, it's so easy to play keeping up with the Joneses, even if those Joneses only exist online.
You're right, it's a challenge. The sources offer a few antidotes. First, remember that everyone is on their own unique journey. We're all at different points with different experiences, strengths, and weaknesses. No point comparing our chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20.
It's like comparing apples and oranges, both fruits, but totally different.
Exactly. Second, focus on your own lane. Don't get distracted by what others are doing. Tune into your passions, your goals, your path.
It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
Beautifully said. Third, celebrate the successes of others. Instead of envy or jealousy, be inspired by their achievements. See their success as proof that anything is possible.
Acknowledging that there's enough abundance for everyone. Their success doesn't diminish ours. It actually expands it.
Exactly. And when we celebrate others' success, we're emitting a frequency of abundance, which attracts more abundance to us.
It's like a positive feedback loop of support and celebration that lifts everyone up.
Precisely. The sources also say when we catch ourselves comparing, we can gently shift our focus back to gratitude.
Ah, gratitude, the ultimate comparison killer. How does that work?
When we focus on what we're grateful for, we shift from lack to the abundance already in our lives. We remember all the good we have, which raises our vibration and aligns us with the vortex.
It's like recalibrating our inner compass back to well-being.
Exactly. And even amidst challenges, the sources say we can always find something to be grateful for: our health, loved ones, a roof over our heads, a beautiful sunset, a moment of laughter.
It's about training ourselves to see the blessings, to find those silver linings.
Precisely. As we cultivate gratitude, we create a more positive and abundant reality, both inside and out.
So next time we're spiraling down the comparison rabbit hole, we can gently redirect to gratitude, celebrate others' success, and stay focused on our own path.
Absolutely. A reminder that our worth isn't about external validation. It's about our inherent connection to source energy, to the vortex. And that connection is always there, no matter where we are on our journey.
This is so empowering. We have the power to choose our thoughts, shift our focus, and create a reality that reflects our highest potential. But what about when we feel like we're putting in the effort, practicing the techniques, focusing on gratitude and self-love, but still not seeing the results we want? What do the sources say about those moments of frustration and discouragement?
That's common experience. The sources acknowledge that aligning with the vortex isn't always a straight line. There will be bumps, moments of doubt, times when it feels like we're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But the key message is, don't give up. The universe is always working for us, even when we can't see it.
It's about trusting the process, even when we don't get it.
Exactly. The sources say the universe works in mysterious ways. A setback or delay might be a redirection towards something even better than we imagined.
It's like trusting that the GPS is taking us on the most scenic route, even with a few detours.
I love that analogy. The sources also remind us that the journey matters just as much as the destination. It's in the stretching, the growing, the overcoming that we discover our strength and resilience.
So it's not about reaching perfect bliss and staying there, but embracing the ups and downs, knowing we're always growing into our potential. You mentioned earlier that the vortex is always expanding. What does that even mean?
Well, that's a great question. One thing that keeps coming up is that the vortex isn't a static destination. It's a dynamic process of expansion and evolution.
So it's not about reaching a summit and then just coasting.
Not at all. The vortex is always expanding, calling us forward to higher levels of awareness, alignment, and fulfillment.
Like a spiral staircase that keeps ascending, with new views and possibilities around each bend.
Beautiful image. And this expansion isn't always easy or comfortable. It often pushes us beyond our comfort zones to confront limiting beliefs and embrace new ways of being.
So it's not about reaching perfect bliss and staying there, but about constantly growing, evolving, and expanding into our full potential.
Exactly. And they say this process is actually what brings the most joy and fulfillment. It's in the stretching, the overcoming, the becoming that we truly come alive.
The joy is in the journey, not just the destination.
Precisely. As we grow and evolve as people, our desires change and grow too. The vortex, well, it's basically a reflection of all those desires, so it expands along with us. It's constantly growing and evolving.
So the more we want, the bigger it gets.
In a way, yes. But there's another really cool part to it too. It doesn't just expand individually, it expands collectively. Every time someone aligns with their own source energy and taps into the vortex, they contribute to that expansion.
Like a domino effect.
More like a ripple effect. Your alignment, it helps everyone. The higher the collective vibration gets, the easier it is for everyone to access it.
So it's like a win-win. You feel good, and you help others feel good too.
Exactly. It's all connected. The more we get that, the more motivated we are to raise our own vibration. It's not just about us. It's about creating positive change for everyone.
Okay, so as we get better at tapping into this vortex, what does it actually look and feel like to be in that state of alignment? How does it change things?
That's a question you have to answer for yourself. You have to experience it.
I get that. But any hints? What can people expect?
Well, imagine waking up feeling energized and excited for the day. Imagine things just falling into place, opportunities appearing at the perfect moment. You feel peaceful, content, knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be.
It sounds pretty amazing. Effortless, almost.
It is. But remember, being in the vortex doesn't mean life is perfect. There will still be challenges, but it's about shifting your perspective, navigating those challenges from a place of strength and resilience. It's about trusting that you're supported, you're guided, and that there's always enough, abundance everywhere. And the sources offer practices to help us on this journey.
Like what?
One is to cultivate a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as chances to learn and grow, not setbacks or failures.
So reframing our perspective on adversity and seeing it as fuel for our evolution.
Exactly. And surround yourself with people who inspire you to grow. Find mentors, teachers, friends who challenge you to think bigger, dream bigger, become more than you thought possible.
Creating a support system that encourages us to reach our full potential, not one that holds us back.
Exactly. And step outside those comfort zones. Take risks, try new things, allow yourself to fail. In those moments of discomfort and uncertainty, we often discover our greatest strengths and hidden potential.
It's like pushing ourselves to the edge of the pool and realizing, hey, I can swim.
I love that. The sources suggest that when we embrace this journey of expansion, we naturally align with the vortex. We attract more abundance, joy, and fulfillment.
So it's not about a static destination, but the dynamic process of growth and evolution.
Exactly. You know, as we've been talking about the vortex and aligning with our desires, I've been thinking about a challenge many people face: the struggle to believe in what they can't yet see.
Right. Trusting the unseen potential of our dreams when our reality seems to contradict them. That's a tough one.
It is. But the sources offer insights and practices to help us bridge that gap between what we want and what we experience now.
What are some of those?
They emphasize the power of imagination. They say it's not just daydreaming, it's a tool for creation.
So we can use our imagination to actively shape our reality.
Exactly. When we vividly imagine our desires as already fulfilled, we're sending out a powerful vibration that attracts those experiences.
It's like creating a blueprint in the energy realm that the universe uses to manifest our dreams in the physical world.
Perfect analogy. And the more detailed our visualizations, the more senses we engage, the more powerful the manifestation.
So it's not just seeing our desires, but feeling the emotions, hearing the sounds, smelling the scents, even tasting the flavors.
Precisely. The more immersive, the more we embody the vibration of our desires, the faster and easier they manifest.
We're creating a virtual reality of our dreams, and then it becomes our physical reality. That's so cool.
It is. And they also highlight feeling the emotions of our desires as if they're already real.
So to attract abundance, we need to feel wealthy, prosperous, and grateful now, even if our bank account says otherwise.
Exactly. It's not just about thinking about more money. It's about feeling the abundance flowing in.
Because emotions are energy in motion, always sending signals about what we're attracting. If we feel scarcity, that's what we'll keep attracting, even while affirming abundance.
Right. Our emotions are the fuel for manifestation. And the sources offer practices for cultivating those positive emotions that align with what we want.
What are some of those practices?
Affirmations. Repeating positive statements that match our desires reprograms our subconscious and shifts our emotions.
So instead of I'm broke, we can say I'm a magnet for abundance, or I'm worthy of unlimited wealth.
Exactly. And don't just say the words, feel them. Embody the emotions they represent.
Like planting seeds of positive belief in our subconscious, seeds that will eventually grow into our reality.
Beautiful. And of course, gratitude. When we focus on what we appreciate, we shift from lack to abundance.
We tune our emotional radio to appreciation, which attracts more things to appreciate.
Exactly. And the sources suggest even during tough times, we can always find something to be grateful for. Our health, loved ones, a roof over our heads, a sunset, laughter.
Training our minds to see the blessings, to find the silver linings.
Yes. And as we cultivate gratitude, we create a more positive, abundant reality.
Okay, so affirmations and gratitude are powerful tools for positive emotions. What else can help bridge the gap between desire and reality?
They emphasize that aligning with our desires isn't a solo mission. We have a powerful ally in source energy, in the vortex itself.
So it's not just our effort, but tapping into a higher power that's always supporting our expansion and fulfillment.
Exactly. Source energy is constantly guiding us, nudging us, creating synchronicities to help us align with our desires.
Like a cosmic GPS guiding us toward our highest good, even if we take a few detours along the way.
Great analogy. And the more we surrender to that guidance, the more we trust the process, the more effortless and joyful our journey becomes.
It's like letting go of the oars and letting the vortex current carry us.
Precisely. And pay attention to the signs and synchronicities the universe sends.
Those little winks from the cosmos that tell us we're on the right path.
Exactly. Those synchronicities might be meeting a helpful person, a book falling off a shelf, a sudden inspiration.
It's like the universe is speaking to us through symbols and serendipity, guiding us toward our best selves.
Beautiful. And the more we notice those signs, acknowledge them, follow their guidance, the more we open to abundance and miracles.
So it's about being aware, present, and open to the magic unfolding around us.
Exactly. And this journey isn't about becoming perfect or having it all figured out. It's about embracing the ups and downs, the twists and turns, trusting that we're always being guided toward expansion and fulfillment.
We're all works in progress. And the joy isn't in some mythical destination, it's in the journey itself. I feel like we've really been diving deep into this vortex thing. We talked about what it is, why we want to be there, how to get there, even what to do when we fall out.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it's so fascinating.
It is, but I think we need to talk about the so what? Like, how do we actually use all this? It's one thing to understand it, but how does it help someone who's feeling stuck or just, I don't know, not happy?
Right. It's great to understand it conceptually, but the real magic is in the application, right?
Exactly. So how does understanding this vortex thing help us in our everyday lives? With our problems, our struggles, all of that.
Well, the cool thing about the vortex is that it's actually a really practical tool. Like if you're feeling down, that's a sign that you're out of alignment with it. And that means you're probably out of alignment with your desires too.
So it's like a wake-up call, basically. Those negative feelings are a sign that something's off.
Exactly. It's that awareness. That's the first step. Like, okay, I feel this way, so what can I do to shift my energy?
And then that's where those tools come in, right? The
Well,
meditation, the appreciation, focusing on things that feel good.
yeah, it's about making those conscious choices to raise your vibration. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing. Even small changes can make a big difference. Just taking a minute to appreciate something beautiful, listening to a song you love, doing something nice for someone, little things like that.
It's like those little moments of joy and gratitude, they all add up, right?
They really do. And here's another thing to think about. Instead of focusing so much on what you want, try focusing on how you want to feel.
So instead of, I want a new job, it's more like, I want to feel fulfilled in my work.
Exactly. Because when you focus on the feeling, the actual manifestation will often just take care of itself. It's about aligning with the energy of what you want.
Like where attention goes, energy flows.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they say. If you focus on feeling good, you're more likely to attract good things.
Exactly. It's all about that alignment.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot, and I feel so inspired by these insights about the vortex and how it can transform our lives. What are your final takeaways from this deep dive, Alicia?
You know, for me, what really stands out is that we're not just stuck with whatever life throws at us. We can actually shape our reality by aligning our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs with the energy of the vortex.
That's so true. It's like we have the power, right? Like we're holding the keys to our own happiness and fulfillment, and the vortex is this, I don't know, almost like a force that amplifies our intentions, that helps us make our dreams real.
Exactly. And a big takeaway for me is that we can let go of the struggle. We can surrender to the flow of the vortex and trust that the universe is supporting us, even when things feel a little messy or confusing.
I love that. It's like instead of fighting against it, we learn to dance with the universe. We move with the rhythm of creation instead of trying to force things to happen our way.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance, that sweet spot between taking inspired action and allowing things to unfold, between putting in the effort and finding that sense of ease. And the more we practice, the more we'll see the magic of the vortex happening all around us.
I think that's a perfect place to leave our listener today. We've given them a lot to think about. But before we go, I want to leave them with one last thought to ponder.
Okay, I'm listening.
What if you could step into the vortex right now? What would that feel like? What dreams would you align with? What kind of reality would you create for yourself?
Imagine your life. If you could be in the vortex more often, how would things be different? What would change? What would be possible? Those are some really powerful questions. I hope our listener will take some time to sit with those questions, maybe journal about them or meditate on them. Let the answers come from their own heart, from that deep inner wisdom. Just play with it. Try the techniques we talked about. Feel those good vibes and see what happens.
That's a great way to put it. I'm definitely ready to make the vortex my new best friend. The vortex is always there, waiting for you. It's a place of infinite possibilities where your dreams are already waiting. So go out there, embrace the journey, and create a life that truly lights you up. Thanks for exploring this with me.
My pleasure. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Vibrations and Manifestations. Until next time, keep those vibes high and stay tuned for more deep dives.